Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Shannon Sharpe has personally responded to the accusations against him made by a woman who claims he essayed her and physically assaulted her. Shannon calls it a shakedown. Yeah, fam. Shannon addressed Jane Doe's explosive claims in a video that he posted to his Instagram page Tuesday morning, just minutes after the woman's attorney, Tony Bugsby, released an audio file to TMZ Sports that he says shows Shannon threatening his client with disturbing, aggressive, and dangerous language. Shannon opened up his statement by claiming Doe's case is a shakedown. He then accused Tony Bugsby of orchestrating the attempted cash grab, explaining he believes Tony Bugsby targets black men. Shannon then stated he thinks Tony is going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make him look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. Shannon goes on to say that video should actually be 10 minutes, and he challenges Tony to release the entire 10-minute clip. All right, fam, where y'all at? Are you still riding with Shannon? Or do you believe Jane Doe? I'll give you a few moments to think about it. Okay, time's up. I'm riding with Shannon, man. It just looks like a money grab to me. You know, if you listen to the video, you know, you hear the ambiance changing. You know, sometimes it sounds like you can kind of hear the air, and then it kind of comes down, it goes up and down. You know, I'm pretty good with that sound thing, fam, you know. Got a lot of experience with sound. And it just sounds to me that particular piece of audio was manipulated. Now, let's address the comments that Shannon made on the audio of him and the Jane Doe conversing. Now, at one point, the woman says that Shannon is trying to manipulate her. And Shannon tells her, don't say that again. I'll effing choke you, right? It sounds disturbing, right? But when you hear the entire little piece, even though it's just a small piece, you can hear, and you put that together with the freaky talking that the woman was doing in the text messages that was released on yesterday. It kind of forms a pattern, you know, and you kind of get some insight into her character. It sounded like, to me, sex talk. It sounded like two adult people talking how they talk to each other and in a freaky nature. And here's the thing. If you want to try to interpret the choking thing as a real threat, okay, you can do that. But by the same token, that the accuser can use that clip as her defense, Shannon can use it as his defense, because, you know, it can easily be interpreted as just sex talk. Y'all know how people be talking on the phone, man, when it comes to sex and stuff, man. We saying all kinds of things. You heard what I said? We be saying all kinds of things. So, come on, fam. I think it's a shakedown. I do not believe that Shannon Sharpe is guilty of violating that woman. Having said that, we must absolutely watch what we say and who we say it to. And always remember this. This internet, these phones, these electronic devices, they keep an electronic footprint of your activities. things that you say, the things that you do. I make it a practice to not say anything over the phone or on the internet that I could not confidently say in a court of law, or in front of my children, or in front of my nieces and nephews, or in front of my aunts and uncles, or in front of anybody that I respect. I just make it a point to do that. You should, and I'm talking about whether you're a celebrity or not, but especially if you are a celebrity, you should make it a point to always assume that your words, your actions will be heard and seen by another at some point in the future. When dealing with these electronic devices, you should be mindful that a digital footprint has been made and it's there forever. So as a rule of thumb, I assume that everything I say will be played back at some point in the future. I assume that the DA is listening. I assume that my enemies are listening. I assume that my children are listening. I assume that my aunts and uncles and friends and family and the people that I love, I assume that everybody is listening. So all this trying to be tough and all that stuff, that's for guys who are insecure. Saying things that are, sexually charging, you should make sure if you're going to say those things that you say those type of things person to person. Don't say that stuff on the phone. Many of the people who was busted by the feds were busted with information that was found on their phone or their laptop or their computer or their tablet. You picking up what I'm throwing down, fam? So you just got to be careful out there. You have to assume, however innocent it may be at the time to you, that everything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. No more talk.